We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I have Miss Renikia with us.
Hello, guys.
Don't think Adria is going to be here tonight, but we're going to make this work. So if you're already in the chat, I'll repeat this. Just make sure you let us know where you are whenever you make your comments. It helps us out just to see where people are and try to get a feel for everybody everywhere. But while I'm doing this, just give me 1 second here. We'll let Renikia sort of introduce herself, but we all know who she is at this point if you don't or whatever, but you can take it over for a second here, Renikia.
Yes. Hey guys, welcome to the Flippinar tonight. Super excited about, just educating and giving this free education out. My name is, I'm the co-host, I guess. My name is Renikia Williams. I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in real estate for over 10 years, really 14 years. I started at the age of 17 years old. Where I went to school to decide to get a degree in real estate where no one was getting degrees. So I have learned a lot, and I just want to be able to share that knowledge with people on my journey, on the mistakes I made on my journey. It can only help you not make those same mistakes. So we're here for you all. So I'm super excited about today.
All righty. So let me just start. You all will bear with me. Y'all know Adria is the expert at this, and I'm literally the peon, not trying to go to Venus. All right, so we have someone from PA, from Cali, Charlotte, Los Angeles, Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. So we already have a question from 804. Tammy name, I think is what the handle is. My credit score is 620. Can you explain how I can get financing to fix and flip? How can you help me?
Okay, absolutely. That's a great question. I'm glad we're starting off with that question because I want everyone to understand that you can use what you have in order to gain and build what you want. That's the only way. You got to take a brick at a time. And I remember when I first started, I bought my first property at age 21 years old. And the way that I did that was off lines of credit. My credit was great. I ran into this guy who wanted to sell me a deal. He went to help me get financing. And I'm sharing this same opportunity with you all and helping you understand exactly how to be able to take absolutely nothing and turn it into gold. So with the 620 credit score, as we all know, a hard money lender will give you money to purchase the property and money to rehab the property. And they will go all the way down to a 580. So really, credit score is not really what make or break you when it comes to securing a hard money loan. So if you have the down payment, which is 10% or 20%, depending on your expertise, closing cost points, 6 months of monthly payments, as well as the first draw of your rehab, then you can secure a hard money loan. What I realized that a lot of people did not have that money. So we created a program called Gap Funding to help individuals come up with the down payment that is needed to do a fix and flip. So with a 620 credit score, you can definitely secure a hard money loan, but you will have to bring your down payment, closing cost points, and everything to the table to answer your question. On the flip side of that, what my focus is to not just, sometimes we try to build a house on a weak foundation. Like I see that a lot. People try to go out here and invest their last, and they cannot afford to lose the deal or anything to go wrong. If anything go wrong, it takes them down a financial stress hole. So what I like to do is show you how to invest in real estate without stressing yourself out. And one of the things we do, we have a program called gap funding if you have a 680 credit score. A 680 credit score will help you leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 of unsecured credit. You're able to use that to fund the down payment and everything is needed to do a fix and flip. So I hope that answers your question. And a lot of times I do also request, tell people sometimes it's better to take 2 steps back in order to take 5 steps forward. So yes, you can secure a lot or something with a 620 credit score, but just think about what you can really do if you had a 680, and it probably only takes you 30, 60 days to get you there. So let's think about those options.
Okay. All right. Carlton from Facebook said, and somewhat I guess you answered, but I think he may be confusing flipping with wholesaling, which wholesaling I guess is a form of flipping. But could you elaborate more on how funding works for wholesale deals?
I'll elaborate on that, and I'll let Todd to tap in too. But wholesaling, the main base of wholesaling is to be able to flip properties without using your money, without putting any money in the deal or little to no money. So the focus is, how can I flip this deal with little to no money? So in my opinion, the bulk of your expenses when it comes to wholesaling is marketing. Because once you secure the deal and you secure the end buyer, you know, that's can actually come together without absolutely no money out your pocket. So really you want to secure maybe enough funding to secure a marketing plan for your wholesale deals.
How can they reach you? We want to plug that a few times as far as you put your email address out there. We know they can reach you through fundmynextdeal.com, you know, go through the actual process, but sometimes they just may have a question or something. What's your email address that you can give out to them?
Yes. So my email address is funding@fkfinancials.com. That's funding, FUNDING, at F as in financials, K as in key, and F as in financials. Oh no, I'm sorry. Funding@fkfinancials.com. You can reach me there. If you have any questions, feel free to email your questions. We'll get those answered. I'm also very, very friendly on all my social media handles. So if you do DM me a question, either through Facebook or Instagram, I will most likely definitely answer your question in a timely fashion as well. So you can reach me by my full first and last name on on Facebook, and Reunique, REUNEK, on Instagram.
Okay, another question from Facebook, another funding question. What about the people who have, I lost it here. What about the people who have poor credit? Can they get funding or any type of loan?
Okay, so that kind of goes back to my question. I think my motto is credit is the gateway to wealth. You got to tackle the credit. You're losing out on a huge part of your wealth and building anything with poor credit. So if it takes you a year to get your credit where it needs to be, put that money towards your credit, because $1,000 on your credit could position you to get $150,000. So I want to change the mindset. Let's not try to build a house on a weak foundation. Let's build the foundation to build a house, because that's the only way it's going to stay strong. So to answer your question, if you did just want to do something with poor credit, a hard money lender, as we are, we will fund your deal as low as a 580 credit score. You have to come to the table with your down payment, closing costs, points, 6 months, 3 to 6 months of monthly reserves. And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, you got to have your first draw of your rehab money as well. So that could be anywhere for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that you would need to even secure a hard money loan. So yeah, that's to answer your question.
All right, from YouTube, hey Ty, is it necessary to put up an earnest money deposit? He said EMD. For you all that don't know what that means, EMD means earnest money deposit. Or can it be zero?
Okay. No, it can be whatever you want to be. It can be $10, it can be $0. Is you really don't put $0. Do at least $10, because security the earnest money secures the contract. So at the end of the day, once that individual sign off on that contract and take your $10, they are obligated to be a bond by the contract. So if someone is willing to sell $10, give them $10. But it could be anywhere from 500 to 1,000 or 2,000. I will always negotiate. I don't personally like giving anyone over $1,000. I prefer 500 or below, but there's sometimes an individual want $1,000. And if you think the deal is a great deal, that you can really secure the funding, that you can really wholesale that deal, then don't be scared to put up that money.
All right. And just to mention here, appreciate everyone that's taking advantage of the ebook I released last Friday. Hopefully you all are using it in conjunction with the videos that I have on YouTube. That was the intent. Some people are readers. It's a more structured format than the videos, but if you combine both of those together for that small amount, you should be able to, get out there and make it happen. I know you can't probably afford well, not everyone, but some people can't afford the courses and coaching that I offer or whatever. So, that's another avenue to try to make it easier for those that can't. And if you're interested, if you haven't gotten it, if you're interested in receiving it, just simply, you can go to flipman.net and access it, but you can also go straight to wholesaling.guide. Instead of .com, it's .guide, G-U-I-D-E, wholesaling.guide. So our next question, sound like I'm at church or something.
That's the play.
We got a lot of them on YouTube. Oh my. Oh, Adrian, where are you, baby? Okay, here's a good one. What kind of fees should I expect in repaying a hard money loan? You hear me?
Yes. So really the interest and points. So you're looking at, sometimes most of the time the points are paid up front. It could be anywhere from a point to maybe even 4 to 5 points, depending on your deal. I know we have one that we have 100% hard money loan, but if you have a 680 credit score, we're able to roll. You have a 680 credit score and experience. We're able to roll the down payment into the loan, but that means that's pretty much 100% financing, but the points is like 9 points. So it's really, I personally don't like to look at interest, because if someone is willing to give me $150,000 for me to make $100,000, I give you $10,000. So a lot of times we focus on the interest, but just think about someone is loaning you $200,000, and you're probably gonna have their money for about 4 months. If you have to pay them $10,000 for you to make $75,000 or $100,000, pay it. That's how you build wealth. So there's no way around it, but the interest will vary between maybe 8 to 12%, even sometimes down to 7 to 6%, depending on the deal. And the points will vary between 1 to 5 points. And depending on the program, it could go all the way up to 9 to 10 points, depending on the program. So.
Yeah, you have to look at it in a sense as far as the points or whatever. It's basically like, obviously they're not going to lend you the money for free. But in the famous words of one of my friends, I didn't come up with this, but what's half of zero or whatever. Right. So like a lot of people say, well, do I have to pay taxes on this?
I like that.
Yes, you do have to pay taxes on it. So my question to them, would you rather pay taxes on 0 or 100K? I would like to pay taxes on 100K than 0, because if it's 0, I didn't make any money. Now, it's obviously it's a legitimate question, but it's like people ask that, like, I want to make it, but is it going to put me in a different tax bracket? Yeah, we always want your goal always be to get into the next tax bracket. So that means you are out there stacking and grinding, or grinding and stacking, or you should be. So, but anyway.
And there's so many avenues out here, guys. Once you make the money, it's so many avenues you can put your money into different life insurance policies and IRA accounts and things of that nature, solo 401ks, to lower your tax liability. Don't be afraid of the taxes, because guess what? I pay Uncle Sam, or I pay Uncle Sam last, versus when you're on a job, you pay Uncle Sam first. I'd rather determine what I want to pay Uncle Sam, because if I make 100,000, but I reinvest 80% of it, guess what? I'm only paying Uncle Sam on 20% of my money. So it's so many different ways. You know, think about Donald Trump. We hate him, but the guy paid less taxes than his secretary. There's so many ways and so many loopholes, guys. The focus is, let's build a wealth, and then we can show you how you can really maintain it and lower your tax liability.
Somebody wants to know, I knew that, and I started to ask you why, when you were explaining about the hard money fees and points, somebody said, what does points mean?
Okay, and points is like, it's just really closing costs, and 1 point equals 1%.
Like, give them an example. Like, if the loan was for 100,000 and the points were 2.5, that simply means you're going to pay 2.5% on that 100,000, which would be 2,500. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Points is another term for really, what's the word? Not really interest, but it's similar to that in a sense, right?
Yeah. Right. It's not really interest. It's not interest at all. It's really lender closing costs.
Yeah.
Just like you pay attorney fee.
I said interest. I mean a percentage. Look at points as a percentage. That's what I mean.
Percentage. Yeah. 1 point equals 1% of the loan.
Exactly. Okay. Someone says, Golden Boy on YouTube says, postcards are about half the cost of yellow letters. How effective are they? Let me take this one for it, and then you can dive.
Yes.
Obviously, you know I'm about to pull this out.
Yes.
Where is my camera here? Mail2flip.com. You can do postcards and letters. The idea there is that what's going to get the seller's attention is that the picture of their property is on the mailer. Whenever you're doing direct mail, I don't care what it's for. The objective is to get your message read. And that can be very difficult because a lot of times they receive mails in bundles. And a lot of people sort their mail over the trash can. So you want to do everything possible to avoid the trash can. And so this is one of the ways you can do it. So mail2flip.com. I'm tooting my home. I'm promoting something I'm affiliated with. I have no shame. So to answer your question though, but yeah, postcards are generally cheaper than yellow letters, but you have to take in consideration the response rate that you receive over one versus the other. So, you know, that's why people do yellow letters, because the idea of quote unquote yellow letters is that it appears that the letter that they're receiving is personalized. And again, similar to the postcard I just held up, it's all about getting the person that you're sending it to, getting their attention to see if they'll actually call you. So you can elaborate on that also, obviously.
No, you did a great job. I mean, I would have said the same thing. And it's really about grabbing their attention. You got to think about how many times have you threw away postcards that's in your mail and you just think it's junk mail. So let's think about how many great things that you probably have passed by in your own. So, and just think about how many times did they send that postcard to your mail before you really looked at it. So you got to put yourself in those shoes. So you have to be creative. And one of the creative things I have seen, or one of the most creative things I have seen, is this direct to mail postcard with their picture of their house on it. That will get your attention, because first of all, you want to know, why is the picture of my house is on my postcard? So that, to me, that's a really great one.
Yeah, even if they call them to cuss you out.
Right.
All right, so on Facebook, Tremaine Lewis has a question. He says he has a credit card and they sent their information over to you. So I guess my question to him is, did you receive the email that you normally are going to get after you go through the process? If you didn't, you need to check your spam and or promotional box, But if he still didn't receive it, Renikia, you can give him the contact.
Tremaine Lewis, your name sounds familiar. What is your partner's name?
Okay, I'll wait for him to respond. All right, so I'll go to the next one. Anthony on Facebook says, I closed my first deal, made $8.1 grand, so I made $8,100 thanks to your videos, but marketing has stopped working. Any recommendations? Well, you're going to have to be a little bit more detailed on what you've actually done as far as marketing, how much of it, so we can sort of troubleshoot why it may have stopped. So that question I can't really answer without having a little more information on that. So let me find another one here. All right, Eric on Facebook says, do you have the seller initial next to the earnest money deposit line on the contract?
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just if they sign off on the contract itself, then they're obligated and bonded by everything that's in that contract. So no, unless you change something. Anytime you change something or mark out something and change like the closing attorney or anything of that nature, yes, you definitely want both of you all's initials on that change. But no, they don't have to initial the earnest money line. Just make sure they sign the contract.
Okay.
But you can have them initial each page. I mean, it could give you additional, I guess security. If you want them initial each page.
All right. Just looking at a couple of comments on YouTube, I'm responding to them. If you submitted your information through Renikia's site, again, if you don't receive an email back, only a couple of things have happened. It went to your spam and or your promotional box, and you need to find it. If you didn't, you need to reach out to her. She's going to give her information again. She's giving out actual information, and she'll go from there. This is what she does. Her intent is to help you. You can't provide information without her permission. So anyway, I'm not even going to read what's here, but I'm just letting them know, and you can follow up on them. Take them through the process again, because I hate misunderstanding much more.
I mean, one thing I realized, you're not going to satisfy everybody. But what I would definitely say, anyone that goes through this program is going to be on a totally different level in the next 18 months. And and we have to stop. I'm not even going to go into preaching, but to take you all through the process. This is so once you go through the site at Find My Next Deal, they automatically give you access to my site. On the site, there is a link under the gap funding called unsecured credit. You should submit your information under that. Submit your information under that tab. Once you submit your information, you're going to get an email immediately. If you submitted the correct email address. That email is going to give you full instructions on how to get started. There's a YouTube video that me and Flippinar just did on this as well, where we went through a lot of the questions and things that you may have. So take a look at that video, because that video should give you all the answers that you would need about the loan program as well. So once you submit your information, you're going to get an email. That email is going to give you 2 steps on pulling your credit and getting your credit login and your credit profile back over to us so we can analyze it. When you submit your information on the site, you automatically get access to my email address as well as my office number. So if you have any immediate question, feel free to give us a call. If we miss your call, we'll give you a call back as soon as we can. Also, once you submit your information or email us your credit login, give us a few days to analyze your credit. Once we analyze your credit, you're going to get an email with a full credit analysis blueprint. You're either going to need to do a few things to boost your credit and qualifying position, or if you're ready to move forward. If you're ready to move forward, you're going to get another email with a funding package. You sign up on that funding package. We'll jump on a funding consultation, and you move to the next phase of funding.
Okay. Back to YouTube. If I don't have an LLC or even a business name yet, should I put my own name on the contract for buyer and seller? Let me start on that one. This is what I tell people, Renikia. I always assume from the approach that most people have limited funds on starting their business, right? And sometimes opportunities come their way where they can go ahead and make money. So I advise them is that don't allow the lack of an LLC or entity in general to stop you from doing a deal, because that first deal will allow you to pay for that or to get that done. Because sometimes people don't even have the money just for the registration, even if they did it themselves. But ideally you want to go ahead and get that done as soon as, if you had to choose, let me put it like this, if you got to choose between your marketing and then that, I say choose the marketing, do a deal, and then, because one deal is not going to kill you in your name. You know what I'm saying? So you may have a different opinion on it or whatever, but that's my 2 cents.
No, I'm all about starting from humble beginnings, and that's just understood. Like that, I mean, I understand that. But I would definitely say you can get a EIN number and become a sole proprietor for free. For free. Go to the IRS.gov, and create you a EIN number for your LLC. That EIN number will allow you to be able to go through this funding program, and it will also allow you to open up a business, business bank account in using that business EIN number. That is a free. That is a business social security number. So it's totally free. It's totally free. So.
All right.
Until you get your first deal to create your EIN number, your sole proprietor into an LLC.
All right. Someone has a question here on Facebook. Is it legal to wholesale without using transactional funding or hard money? You want to go
Absolutely. On that? Absolutely. It's called assignments.
Yeah, it's called assignment. That's a beautiful word.
Yeah, it's called assignment. I assign my contract to a third party. You have every right to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because in the contract, it gives me an assignment clause that allows me to assign my contract to another party for a fee.
That's it, for a fee. All right. Go back to YouTube. So what are some of the sites to find off-market properties that were reported by neighbors for appearance, etc.? You want me to take that? Yeah. I think what they're asking is like, you know how, and this is going to vary from municipality to municipality, city, well, which I'm saying city to city, county to county. Basically, like you may see a house and the neighbors may call because it's abandoned and it's been abandoned for a while. So it may go on a delinquent list. It may be called something else in your market or whatever. And so I know, like here in Birmingham, if they come out and have to cut your grass, it's going to probably be like a $1,500 bill. And so each time that they do that, the city is going to attach liens to the property. So in most cases, they're going to go in I know I call it a delinquent list. It's really called a condemned list. That's what I'm trying to say, a condemned list. So that's going to vary from county to county, city to city, state to state on what websites may produce that information free to the public. A lot of these sites, when you start dealing with city governments, they're really not that good. I know that it just depends on where you are. Some of them are great, like in Shelby County, Memphis. Now, I know it used to be when I used to target up there a lot. They were really current on their information as far as like recent sales, just owner information. They were really current on the whereas a lot of the business that I do here locally in Jefferson County, in this Birmingham market, there's several counties, but the main county, they're not as current. So it's all going to be based on how they produce the information to the public, whether it's through a website or not. So I can't really just give you like a hub that's going to allow you to just search any city or state or county in the whole country. Now, Rick, you may know of something. I'm not aware of anything like that. No,
I mean, and like you said, there are lists that the county provide, which is public records. And you go down, you go to the county's department, real estate department, like the foreclosures that they auction off every month on the courthouse step. There are public records. So I feel that to get these lists, you have to go to the county website and pull up the foreclosure, delinquent list, or things of that nature. That is public records.
Yeah, so just the individual county websites is what we're saying. I don't know if there's a hub where you can just find that all in one place or whatever. So
probably not.
But a good idea. Be a money maker. Somebody put something like that together.
That's a good app. I got to get my app down now. That's a good app.
Let me see here. All right. I'm not Adrian, so y'all don't kill me. God dog. All right. Should I share with her? All right. Hello, Flippinar. This is from Facebook. This guy says his name is Tony. Tony Anderson says, "Hello, Flip man. Need advice on what percentage split should I share with another wholesaler who can bring a buyer to the table?"
Okay, that's a very great question. And I'm gonna tell you how I structure my deals. I tell my wholesaler what I want. So I'm not splitting any, I will, but my focus is to get my full fee. And if I say that, hey, bring me 85,000 and anything that you have on top of that is yours. Now, if he come back and he bring me 75,000, that's when we have to start, discussing decreasing my fee just so I could get the deal on the table. So that's kind of how I like to structure mine. I tell my co-wholesaler what I want, and I tell them anything on top of that is yours.
All right.
And if we negotiate, we will.
Okay. I do the same thing. The first thing I think, and I think you may agree with this, Renika, just be negotiable. Number one. This business just all boils down to being negotiating. Just be willing to negotiate, right? Okay. Now, the other thing is, I'm gonna ask you, I like to see how you do things. How will you paper up with them? Assuming they got a buyer ready to go, how will you paper up? Because I'm not gonna, if I give them like you say, you give them an 85,000 amount, I'm not gonna let them put it in the contract unless I'm confident they got a buyer ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So how will you paper up with them?
Well, as long as I have my AB side locked down, and if they have an end buyer, then we could either do it from my company to the end buyer. But most likely, if it's a situation with two wholesalers, I will really just merge our fees together. If I say, hey, I want 85 and you come back and you sell it at 95, we're gonna do the BC contract at 95. And then I have a separate contract between myself and the co-wholesaler that's pretty much a compensation agreement that out of this particular deal on this particular day that I owe as the seller of the property, I owe the co-wholesaler so much money. And I also send that agreement to the attorney as well. So
okay.
Yeah, so I just merge it all together is how I do mine.
Okay.
If I'm utilizing two wholesalers.
Okay. All right. Now what I would do is very similar. I'm just going to use like you say, we just if he has somebody ready to go at 95, even though I said 85, assuming I don't know what I would be making, we'll just say I was making $9,000. I'm just using that as a number. And so he was going to make, I guess, what would that be, 10,000 or whatever, which I'll be cool. You know, he made more money, fine. Hey, that's what's the name of the game. So basically, like she said, I have a contract with the seller, and then he and I will have a contract with the buyer at X amount. Right. You know, both our names will be on it, so that'll ensure. And she takes it an additional step or whatever. But normally, I guess I do the same thing because I'll send over what I call my closing detail sheet, which detail who's the seller, who's the buyer, the price, rest of the property, assignment fees paid to who, by whom, and then who's covering the closing costs. Who's either whether it's the buyer covering it all, I'm paying a percentage of it, which would just simply come out of my assignment fee. So we're basically doing the same thing. I just call it a closing detail sheet, and I would just detail everything, you know, from there. So I'm sorry to inform you guys, this is going to be a short version tonight. So I'm going to give Renikia an opportunity to make sure you all can reach her. Again, she can get out her handles along her email address or whatever also. And we're going to wrap this up tonight.
Oh, sorry, guys. I look forward to having an hour with you all every week. But as always, my name is Renikia Williams. I am a real estate consultant, as well as a funding specialist, as well as a financial advisor. And I just want to help you all creatively finance your deals through our creative financing options. And so if you really want to reach me and want to learn how to be able to finance your next fix and flip using 100% of OPM, other people's money, or 100% of the bank's money, to build your wealth, contact me at funding, FUNDING, at fkfinancials.com. You have a question. If you want to get started with the program, go to fundmynextdeal.net or .com. Fundmynextdeal.com. Submit your information on that site. It gives you access to my site. Once you get to my site, you will also submit your information under the unsecured credit program or our gap funding program to get you started with leveraging your credit to receive up to $150,000 so you could finance your next 4 or 5 deals using 100% of the bank's money. And we will show you exactly how to make that happen.
Okay, and just my little plug again, thanks for everyone that's gotten the ebook. Hopefully that's working out for you. For those of you that want to still have done a special offer where you get in the ebook itself on how to wholesale 3 to 5 houses per month. Along with, you're going to get a bonus, the live event recording I did back in October of 2017 on wholesaling apartments. So you're getting both of those at that one low price. So you can go to wholesaling.guide. That's wholesaling.guide. Apologize, guys. Had something I need to take care of this evening. And we'll see you all next week. We'll see you on the flip side.
See y'all.